So chapter 7 of Kagurabachi starts us off fresh off the heels of our last battle. Not only that, we get introduced to Mr. Azami, who's a member of the Kamunagi who works for the government and who seems to be a former good friend of Kunishige. And then it's also the introduction of the new arc, which I would like to call the Rakuzaichi arc. It's the annual black market auction where one of the enchanted blades is going to be up for auction at, which also, interestingly enough, is being set up by Sojo. It seems like Sojo is more of a strategist, if you will, when it comes to luring in Chihiro and Char. And speaking of Char, can I just point out how fucking absolutely adorable she is? Like, look at this, man. I love Char. This is one of my, like I said, one of my favorite new additions. But anyways, if you guys are new to the channel and have yet to subscribe, man, make sure y'all go down below and hit the link in the description. If you guys want to become a member, you can also hit the link in the description, right? It also really supports me as a content creator. You know what I'm saying? I apologize for yesterday's video. That video I recorded like 2-3 days ago, probably longer than that, but my brain has been so all over the place because I have not gotten an adequate amount of sleep at all. I've been trying to reset my sleep schedule, and for some reason, it's like my body is rejecting it and doesn't really want me to get back into the natural flow state of things, right? But nonetheless, all your support is appreciated, and I'm looking to get to 10K by the end of the year, so if you guys would love to help me do that, make sure I hit the subscribe button. Now, without any further ado, let's actually jump into this chapter because Azami actually saves our ass cheeks, right? He pulls up just when Chihiro is exhausted, right? Chihiro's exhausted. He's got Char on his back. He pulls up and beats he just cooks. He cooked these guys and scared the living daylights out of him because there was one guy who saw him and saw the badge on his chest and was like, yo, nah, bro, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm all right, man. I don't want no problems with you, right? I didn't know it was y'all who was gonna be here, right? And it was at this point because even Char, right? Char was like, man, who was that? We learned that he works for the government, right? Like, you have the usual civilian sorcerers who deal with Yakuza and corporations and stuff. Mr. Azami is a very important figure in the nation. You know what I mean? He's a bit of a goofball too, right? And that's seemingly a trait that comes from people who were friends of Kunishige. But this guy, he became a lot more interesting as the chapter goes on because you get to learn a little bit more about him. And to make matters even better, he seems very trustworthy too. He seems very trustworthy because I know there was a lot of doubt, including Mr. Shiba. I know there was a lot of doubt on these sorcerers who are helping us because obviously, you know, sorcerers have been the issue for the most part of what we've been dealing with. But everything seems kosher, if you will, because once we get back to Hinao's shop, you see the relationship between Azami and Shiba. You see the camaraderie there and the overall atmosphere of Hinao's shop. But it's here at Hinao's shop that we learn a lot more, right? We learn more about like the war between basically the Kamunabi and the Hishaku, right? And we get to see Char doing some Char things, right? Like, this is one of my favorite panels because this is her being happy because she learned that she gets to stay with Chihiro. She doesn't have to go with Mr. Azami because Hinao initially thought that they were coming to take Char into custody, right? But since he's in the Kamunabi, their role is to eliminate any threats to the nation and not intervene in personal matters. And you may be asking, how is it personal when it's Char? The personal matter is Chihiro and Shiba, right? Because that is a personal relationship. So they can't involve themselves in that. One of the most important things that we learned from this chapter though is that Chihiro was basically hidden. He was hidden from the Kamunabi. And I'm interested to know why that is. It's almost as if there's some people in the nation, if you think about it in this aspect, right? It's almost as if there's some people in the nation, like the government, who are working with the Hishaku. Because why would you hide your son from the government? Is it related to his mom that we don't know anything about yet, whom I'm assuming was probably a member of the Hishaku? Is it related to, you know, not wanting to force him to be in that business, even though he wanted to take up the mantle that his father left behind anyway? Like, he was going to follow in his father's footsteps because that's who he looked up to the most. I don't know. I'm very curious as to why the existence of Chihiro and the seventh blade was hidden. But I digress. The higher-ups want to know the reason why Sojo wants them, right? And obviously we know why Sojo wants them. He wants the enchanted blade and he wants Char's blood, right? He wants the potential of gaining immortality. And Mr. Azami is aware. He wants Chihiro to just stay out of it. He doesn't want him to be a part of it because he doesn't want any more work on his hands, but we also know that that's bullshit, which we'll get into after we talk about the Rakuzaichi, right? The crazy annual black market auction, right? Like this is where all the big shots of the underworld just pull up. I always find things like this interesting because it's like, y'all know, like the government knows that this shit's going on, and why can't y'all do nothing about it? But we always know there's more to that than meets the eye, you know what I mean? And I always like to call these chapters the calm before the storm, right? It's the lull between the arcs because we're fresh off of a mini arc, I would like to say, because I don't really consider that an arc, what just happened. It was more so like a fight. Like we're really going into like our first major arc. I can't wait to see what we do with that. But we learned that the Rakuzaichi is coming up and Kunishige's legendary Shinuchi, one of the 6 enchanted blades, is up for auction. And you know Chihiro is not having that shit, bro. Because where there's a blade, there's the Hishaku, right? And it's cool that we get that imagery because we see the symbol on the hand. So just who is this guy? Who is the man in the suit that is like a real Hishaku member? And Sojo is so keen on setting this up, right? He's so keen on setting this up because he is not going to rest until he gets his hands on Char. I go back to my point of Mr. Azami wanting to keep Chihiro out of this. He tells him that Sojo's out of his league. The bounty for Char and him, it's gone. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Your hands are still shaky. You can just leave that to us. But we understand why Azami is doing this, right? It's not out of responsibility. It's more out of like, I don't want to lose something of this importance to me again. Because if you look at the phone, it's Mr. Shiba, Kunishige, and Mr. Azami, right? They were all close. And that just goes back to how important he was. Like what they said in chapter 1 about how important he was, I feel like there's way more to that than just what Mr. Shiba told us, you know what I'm saying? But the coolest part, at least for me in the ending, is that Mr. Azami knowing this, right? Knowing that, oh man, the risk outweighs the reward, at least to him, tells Chihiro anyway. He tells him that the Hishaku have not been this bold before and that they're planning, like they're gonna start basically a coup, dog. Remember we talked about this like maybe 3 or 4 chapters ago? Just how long have the Hishaku been waiting to make this move, right? They had to have been plotting for so long and now they're ready to take over. And he tells Chihiro, we have to do everything in our power to be ready. So we got it. I don't know if this is going to be a training arc or if this is just going to be a retrieval arc for like the other 6 enchanted blades. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but bro, there's clearly a goal, right? There's clearly a checkpoint here. Shit's about to go down, you know what I'm saying? And it's got me excited just thinking about it. This chapter did everything that I needed it to, I will say, right? It gave us some closure on what just happened. It introduced us to a new friend, like a new ally who seems very powerful and very cool at that. It introduced to us a few new villains and a new arc plot. What more can you ask for, bro? I can't tell you how excited I am to go on that journey with you guys and figure out where he's trying to take us because, bro, I'm very excited. Very excited. I'm so happy that Kagurabachi is going the way it is. And yeah, make sure y'all let me know how y'all felt about this chapter, bro. It was very, 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 very good, in my opinion. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. If there was anything that I left out from this chapter that you would have liked for me to explain, make sure y'all let me know in the comment section below. I'm always looking for more reasons to create more videos and just give more insight to things. If there's things you guys want me to research and, you know, make videos about that's just not chapter reviews for Kagurabachi, information wise, make sure y'all let me know as well, because I definitely want to be the Kagurabachi guy, right? I want to be the guy for this. So yeah, man, with that being said, it's your boy DomoSenpai, and I will catch you guys in the next video.